Hello, party people. It's been a minute since I have talked to you guys all today, in general. A lot of stuff has happened. I think I last did update you that I was leaving for Africa. It is now 5 days away that I will be in Africa, but today is my last night in the bus. Currently it's a wreck. I'm currently mid-packing. As you can see, it's a hot mess. It's kind of the tail end. I still have to do some vacuuming and cleaning over here. Obviously there's a bunch of junk on my counter that's going to be situated. But I am incredibly sad that it's my last night in here for the next year and a half. I've learned so much being in Arizona in terms of my own business and hobbies and spirituality, because I've really been diving deep per se. I think I've always been somebody who's been a big deep thinker, but as I'm starting to get older and starting to move into more life transitional changes, I have pretty much reprioritized what I find is important in my life and things that I want for my future, and actually thinking into more of my future. I know I at one point talked about a commune and maybe some other stuff about what I would want for my future, but I pretty much have a direction that I'm at least leaning towards and aiming for right now. So for now, I'm thinking go to Africa, integrate with somebody else's culture and meet new people and having new experiences, new stories to tell, even more spiritual insights, and getting into the more artsy part of stuff. As far as my art goes and my brand goes, I have learned so much being out here in Arizona. I've always been very interested in taxidermy. Obviously, you can see this is new. I've got a oddities cabinet now. I've been learning how to clean carcasses and bones, and I learned how to skin snakes. I got into leatherworking as well. It's been a whirlwind. I've been building buildings. I've been planting plants. Just doing all around more than I was before, and diving more into these things that I've always had interest in, or things that I've always seen in the artsy side of stuff, wood burning, leather burning. A lot of these things, they were always oh, maybe I'll get to them at some point. Oh, it'd be so nice if I was, collecting all my oddities already. And here I am, getting ready to leave in my last night in the bus for now. I'm incredibly excited. I don't know where I was at last when it came to published works. I have now 3 published books. I think that's kind of an overstatement. I guess I'm now a published author, which is awesome. I think I already told you possibly about a guided gift journal that I had created, something that you buy for somebody or for yourself. You fill it out and then you gift it to somebody. I wrote a book. I wrote an actual book on the year I've been traveling on the road, and it's more of if you're thinking about doing something, just do it, because I never left having any of the answers. I left with no answers and am landing exactly where I think I'm supposed to be landing. I don't feel lost. I feel very at peace in a way. I know that this is the path I'm supposed to be on, and I know that whatever path is coming next, I don't feel off course. I knew the second I applied for the Peace Corps that was my next pass. Whether I thought I was going to get in or not, of course I did not know. It's pretty hard to get into, so I really didn't know if I was going to get into the Peace Corps. But something in my entire body told me, yeah, that's next. You're going to leave. whether it was Africa or not. And it's funny that it had to be Africa because as far as I can remember when I was a little girl, I always said I was going to go to Africa. And funnier enough, I always said I was going to adopt a child in Africa. But I always knew at one day in my life, or always saw wanting to go to Africa. And I did not choose to go to Africa with the Peace Corps. It just so happened that they said, you're going to Eswatini. And I said, wow, that's crazy that things are working out this way, because it's something I've always seen since I was, like I said, a little girl. I've always seen myself going to Africa. I'm really excited to get integrated with the culture and the norms and the way of living over there. And I think it's going to be nice too, because it's not going to be, I know it's a lot more rural, but I don't think it'll be as big of a transition as it might be for some of maybe the other volunteers that are also in my cohort, because I obviously live in a school bus. It does not have technically running water, even though I have like my sink system and like I have running water. So I think, again, something in me knew that this was the path. And the second all of this got set into motion, I'm just very at peace. And then I got accepted, and then I started paperwork, and I still had to go through all the clearances. And, that was another thing that could have been an easy, oh, you're not going type of thing. So when I got all the clears to go, it was very much, yeah, this is the path. Again, like I kind of just knew at the back of my mind that, not even at the back of my mind, I just knew it felt like my entire being, I knew that this was where it was going next. And where I'm at spiritually, mentally, physically, all of that stuff, I really feel like this is the path I'm supposed to be on. And whatever this leads to, this was all part of the energetic plan, if you will. I probably sound so hippy-dippy saying that, but it was in the deck of cards for me. And I'm so thankful that bus life has led me to where it is right now. And when I come home, I will be again hitting the road, but with a different intention in mind. I will be going and looking for somewhere to settle and start planting roots to live off grid. That's as far as my plan is going right now. But I'm really thankful for the life that the Mad Mouse has led me to. I couldn't be more grateful. I feel really blessed that I've landed where I'm at in my mental space, my physical space, how I'm, the prefrontal cortex is developing, as Greg would say. He actually just called me today saying that it was cool to see the kind of person that I've developed into so far. Knowing him for 2 or 3 years, I can't remember what it actually is, but I really want to thank all the people that I've met in Arizona, because Arizona has been a very good pause. A pause on everything except myself and my habits and my mannerisms and my art and all the things that are developing me into the person that I am today. I really want to thank Lynn. And I don't even think she's going to see this video, so it's not like I'm saying it directly to her, but if she's watching, that's cool. I really want to thank Lynn. I spent a lot of time with her, and one of the people I spent the most time with out here, and we did a lot of stuff together. She is what we like to call ourselves the black sheep, but not in the traditional sense that you would think of, in a sense of, oh, they're the bad kid. Not in that sense, but more in the sense that we were put here in order to break the generational norms and generational patterns that have been passed on. And I feel like I've just really blessed to have been able to learn a bunch of skills from her and really feel more heard, I guess, in my spirituality, because she's a very spiritual person. So being around somebody that thinks similar to me but has years on me, it's really a beautiful thing. I learned a lot of stuff from her. I learned the leather working. She's an artist, so I got to, again, I leaned more into my artistic side being around her as well. I learned the leather working. She taught me how to skin snakes. Most of what I learned from how to process a carcass and, stuff like that. And I'm really blessed to have been able to spend so much time with her and be able to lean and feel more in my body, because I feel like what people surround themselves with, which for me, in my case, is nature, right? I've been in the desert for March, April, May, June, 3 or 4 months now. So I've been surrounded in nothingness. I don't know if anybody of you have noticed, but I have deactivated all of my Instagram accounts. I still have them. They just have to be reactivated. So I just have no temptation to get on into anything right now. The only thing I have is my TikTok and my Facebook. And Facebook is really people around me, per se, and more arts type stuff. So it really has been a blessing being out here. I'm really thankful for the Wind Dancer family, which is the farm not too far from us. Miranda and James, I'm so thankful to have met you guys. They also have made me feel really at peace with who I am as a person, because it's especially when you're living with your parents again after becoming an adult. It's hard to completely be yourself, I would say, because, you know, coming from a cross-cultural household, not saying that you have to like ignore who you are or anything like that, but there are more cultural norms in my family. Again, not in a bad way. You have to present a specific way ish. Again, you're still yourself. You just have to be a different version of yourself. But I've been able to learn a lot of growing and plant stuff from James and Miranda, and I'm really thankful to have met them, and they have made it so comfortable to be myself once again and be at peace with who I am, and acknowledging me for things that I never would have thought to have been acknowledged for. And to hear these kind of things from Lynn, Miranda, and James, it's such a blessing, because these are things that people in cities really don't think about. It's more things that people who are more connected to earth more so think about, I would say. I've learned a lot of like building stuff. I've helped James and Miranda work on their, I think it's called Earthship house, where they basically are kind of like almost burying their house to insulate their home. I worked on stuff like that. I worked with Papa and Morgan in building a water pump house out of like the corrugated metals, and that's also been awesome working on, because it really reaffirmed how handy I actually am. Because as a woman, I feel like I've never been, I'm not a handy person. I'm artsy, I'm resourceful, but I'm not handy. But working and doing something along those lines, I really learned, wow, I actually am pretty handy. And the fact that Papa would come to me and ask me what I thought about, how the specific structure looked and things like that, it really made me feel that, hey, I am really handy and stuff like that. That's been a blessing. Morgan is a cowboy I met out here in the desert. He lives in Animas. I met him and his family, him and his dad. His dad is also a jarhead like my dad. I've spent a lot of time with them as well, and it's been really a beautiful experience being out here and meeting these kind of people who have spent majority of their life out here, and for Morgan, his entire life out here. The different kinds of things they prioritize and how their worth ethic is, and how they view handiness, I guess, per se. And like for Mr. Wright, like how he views traditional norms and stuff. We've had a lot of pretty deep conversations about stuff like that, religion, norms, all that kind of stuff. And it's been such a blessing to be able to have these deeper, more meaningful conversations that you would not get living in the city, really. Especially just, that's not normal things that people talk about. And even then, it's not a normal thing to talk about, I think. But I think being in these kind of scenarios, the interactions that you have with people, they're just that much more meaningful, because you don't see people every day, and they're a much more deeper connection. And I'm really thankful that I've met these people out here. I also really would like to thank my parents. They have made this possible. All this learning and growth, I would not have been able to do it without them, for them to be allowing me to stay here and meeting all the people in their community and allowing me to grow, and for supporting me in my upcoming travel. They're honestly more than ecstatic. I've also learned a lot of stuff from them too. I've learned how some electrical work. I helped with my parents setting up their mini split or solar powered mini split AC system, helped set that up. I learned how to work the skid steer. I learned how to work an excavator. Like, I'm just so thankful. I can't even really put it into words. A lot of people are saying, oh, aren't you scared? Aren't you worried for her? But we've never been that kind of family. We're more just excited for each other. I grew up in a household where space was never like a big thing. I'm really thankful and really want to thank them from the bottom of my heart for allowing me to grow in their space. I'm really thankful. So as I get ready to finish up cleaning in here and packing up, I was not scared or nervous to leave. And it's been the past 2 or 3 months that it was a for sure thing that I was going. And I got all the okays and stuff. But now it's the day before that I leave to go to a hotel for 2 nights and then leave. It's not, I guess it could be seen as a little nerve-wracking, but I would say that I'm more so kind of just on edge, like not in a bad way. And I think, like, me and Greg had a conversation today too. And he says, you know, a lot of people avoid that feeling of travel anxiety and stuff like that. But when it's really nothing to be running away from, which I 100% agree. I'm on edge for the new to come. And again, this is coming from somebody who lives in a school bus and everything is pretty much unknown. It's a different kind of unknown, that's for sure. Going to a whole nother country to live for 1.5 years. And I'm so on edge, but I'm ready and I'm excited for my next step of my life, because I know this is going to be a whole chapter in and of itself. With the published books. So I did the guided gift journal. I did the actual written book on my year on the road, as well as I did a coloring book based off a lot of the photos and life feeling, like the emotions and feelings that I got from this past year living on the road. If anybody gets a chance to check out my book, I would highly appreciate it. It's on Amazon. It's just under my name. It's been a whirlwind living somewhere so still, and it's crazy that it's been a whirlwind living somewhere so still. And I think that goes to show what kind of work I've been doing, whether it's physical, emotional, spiritual. I've really been putting in the work and growing. I've been growing, and it's such a blessing, and I can't have asked for anything more. I think that's what I had to say. And I wasn't sure if I was going to get a video posted for YouTube or not, but here I am. So, wish me luck. Love to hear some comments, or you can reach out to me personally. Again, I'm not on Instagram right now anymore, but check out my books. That'd be cool. Bye. What's up, party people? Let's get into a little bit of an update. The update is I have been now in country for about 3 weeks-ish, coming up on the end of week 3. I have been with my training families for the past almost 2 weeks now. It has been great. I love the family that I stay with. I have 2 grandmas and 3 grandchildren. They are so awesome. And I adore every single one of them, and it's been awesome. I made them a tree swing, like a tired tree swing, so that's really cool. I'll put a picture right there. It has been a whirlwind. The training itself has been incredibly intense, incredibly full days, every single day, just about. And even the days that we're off, which is like 1 day a week currently because we're still in training, is still a lot because you are still bonding and making connections with your family and doing things around the house with the family. But it's been phenomenal. We have a couple more weeks here, more than a couple. I think we have a total of 8 weeks, I think. So I have at least another month with my family. And today we actually learn our permanent sites. So that's cool. There's gonna be a pair of us, only one pair. So we have a youth and development group as well as the community health volunteer group. I'm health volunteer. They're doing a pilot of one pair, one from each. So one youth development, one health person to be in the same village. And I have a feeling it's me and a friend of mine. So we'll see if that really is the case. But this is me before finding out where I'm going to be staying for the rest of my service. If you guys have any questions, please leave them somewhere on the YouTube, because the YouTube is pretty much all I have. I did just reinstall Instagram, but I'm not on it frequently, but I am now posting some stuff, so go ahead and check that out. I don't know where this video is going to take me, so bam, on to the next.
Okay guys, stay blind and try to touch each other to see. Okay, please, I'll follow.
Outro. I'm in the middle of class. That's what I have for now. I will have a little bit more organized of a video, the next video around, and I will give you an update. In about 2 days, we are going to our permanent sites for a week to go check out and like meet everybody in the area. So I'm very excited for that. I will put some clips in for the next video, but for as far as this video goes right now, that's it. So like, subscribe, comment, say something. Oh, also I am back on Instagram. I don't know if I said that in the last couple clips. I do know I did say that I was not on it, but I do have some photos up on my Instagram now. So please like, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. Bye guys.